We have distinguished three main stages of metaphysical desire in Proust's novel: Cambrai, the Verdurin Salon, and Charles. These three stages are obviously linked with the narrator's experience. They define his spiritual evolution up to, but not including, the past recaptured. All the characters except the grandmother and the mother are linked with this fundamental evolution. They are all the harmonics of the primordial desire. Some of them recede into the background when the novel goes beyond the stage of metaphysical desire in which they remain fixed. Others die or disappear with the desire characteristic of them. Still others evolve along with the narrator, and finally others, when the time arrives, reveal an aspect of their personality invisible in the less acute stages of ontological sickness. This is the case with Saint-Loup, with the Prince de Guermantes, and many other characters who reveal their homosexuality in the last volumes of Cities of the Plain. Just as the damned and the elect in Dante are always surrounded by those who practiced the same vices or virtues as they themselves, so the narrator always seeks the company of the characters whose desire is most analogous to his own. The third stage of Proustian desire, found in the last volumes, is not therefore the prerogative of Charles alone. The narrator's passion for Albertine resembles very closely that of Charles for Morel. Between these two passions, there is the same analogical relationship as between Marcel's love for Gilbert and the bourgeois characters of the Verdurin type. In fact, during the period in which he is in love with Gilbert, the narrator makes use of dissimulation in his love life in a way that is very reminiscent of the strategy of Madame Verdurin in the social world. Marcel avoids Gilbert in the same way that Madame Verdurin avoids the Guermantes. The, quote, principles, end of quote, retain a certain efficacy, appearances are maintained. Middle-class order reigns. During the Albertine period, there is complete disintegration of the will. The narrator is no more capable than Charles of keeping up his role in the face of his mediator. His conduct continually contradicts his words, and the lie becomes more hyperbolical as it grows more transparent and loses all efficacy. Marcel does not fool Albertine for a minute. He becomes her slave just as Charles becomes Morel's slave. If the narrator evolves in the same direction as the Baron de Charles, the technical observations made about the latter should apply equally to the former. But the desire the narrator experiences for Albertine, like all the preceding desires, is described for us from the point of view of the past recaptured, from the point of view of a truth grasped long after the event. If our analysis is correct in this third stage, it would be enough for the novelist to give an external description of words and behavior. The truth would leap out at us from the now glaring contradictions. Proust, however, has not modified his technique. This fact can easily be explained if we give a little thought to the disadvantages of such a modification in the eyes of a writer as careful about continuity and aesthetic unity as Proust. The fact remains, nevertheless, and the considerations we have just mentioned would seem very abstract and even venturesome, were it not that Proust himself had confirmed their accuracy in an unequivocal statement. Proust did not make use of the possibility presented him, but he considered it in a curious mediation on techniques of the novel, which he inserts in the account of his unsuccessful attempts to delude Albertine as to his feelings about her. Here's a quote from the book. My words, therefore, did not in the least reflect my sentiments. If the reader has no more than a faint impression of these, that is because, as a narrator, I reveal my sentiments to him at the same time as I repeat my words. But if I concealed the former and he were acquainted only with the latter, my actions, so little in keeping with my speech, would so often give him the impression of strange revulsions of feeling that he would think me almost mad, a procedure which would not, for that matter, be much more false than that which I have adopted. For the images which prompted me to action so opposite to those which were portrayed in my speech were at the moment extremely obscure. I was but imperfectly aware of the nature which guided my actions. At present, I have a clear conception of its subjective truth.